Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for watching today guys. Today's video I'm going to be talking about an easier way you can use to migrate to Switzerland. Yes, this is a video requested by someone, so I want to talk about this today so we can all understand. But the video is going to be in parts. I think the last part is going to be about visa application. The first part I'm just going to talk about basic things or simple things about Switzerland. Then I talk about the documents, the requirements and application until the step you get your admissions later. Then the last part is going to talk about the visa application proper. Alright, so if you are new to this channel, my name is Milton Fonkwa, the only anointed village boy, and thank you so much for coming. If you are old, you are still watching the anointed village boy, we already know how we do it. Newcomers, please, we always like our videos first and subscribe to our channel. So please like this video and subscribe to the channel so that I can get recommendations from YouTube. Thank you so much for understanding. So today, I first of all want to let you know that Switzerland is not an English-speaking country. There are 4 languages in Switzerland, alright? They speak the German language, they speak Italian, they speak French, and of course, Romansh, alright? So if you intend to move to Switzerland, know that you may come across courses in universities that will not teach you entirely in English language, especially at the bachelor's degree or maybe master's degree level. Let me put it this way. PhD may be completely in English language, but these two may not be the same. Again, understand that in Switzerland, you can study a course for 1 year, you can study for 1.5 years or 2 years, alright? That is another thing you should understand. Again, understand that language requirements per course in universities varies a lot, alright? So that is what you need to know. And when you want to apply for school in Switzerland, always consider the language of instruction very important, because sometimes most programs will need that. You will need you to present documents of foreign languages, which means that most of the programs are taught in the German or French or Romansh, but a majority, let me say 40%, will be in English and maybe 60% in the German language. So that is what you should understand. Again, if you want to move to Switzerland, make sure you have money. I will talk about the money part in the part 2 of this video. Keep watching and let's move along. Now, again, if you want to study a master's degree program in Switzerland, know that there are required documents you need, and your transcript is very important. It has to be documented. That is a clear and clean transcript with all ECTS credit units available on it, alright? That is what I'm talking about. And now, remember the grading system in Switzerland is different from maybe in Cameroon or Nigeria or Ghana, alright? They use a grading system of 1 to 6. But us, we use, I think, 1 to 4. Then 6, 5 are the best. I think 4, below 4 is a fail mark. You have to take the course again. So you have to be careful as an international student who intend to move to Switzerland. Again, Zurich, Bern, Geneva, these are the popular cities. There are some I didn't mention, but they are universities of Zurich, the University of Geneva, the University of Basel, the University of Bern are the most popular universities in Switzerland, alright? So you should always look like the University of Bern. I think the University of Bern, the most courses will be taught in German and just small portions will be in English language. So that is what I say that, why I say that if you must study in Switzerland, always look at the language of instructions or requirements of that particular course. It is very important. However, application documents vary, and I will start with the first and most important one that you need to know. Almost all universities in Switzerland will charge you an application fee. Remember, when it comes to application, there is a deadline. If you miss out of the deadline, it means that you have to pay another application fee. That is to say, you have to pay double. They will charge you more if you are applying for the second admissions round, because they have the admissions period and they have the late admissions. So if you are applying for the late admissions, you will be charged more. However, you also need to understand that this application fee is non-refundable. Whether you get admissions or not, you will never have it again. Now, the other document you need to apply to Swiss schools, alright, is your international passport. Very important document, international passport. Clear photos and clear information. Now, the other document you need, remember I said if you want to apply for, first of all, you need GMAT. When do you need GMAT? In case you want to apply for economics related, accounting related, finance related programs like Masters in Business Administration, you need a GMAT, alright? You need to document that you have GMAT. However, there are some other programs, in case your program is English, part-time or full-time, you need to show that you have the language proficiency. What they usually ask most at times is the TOEFL and the IELTS certificates. But if you had studied in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, or in any other country, like maybe the University of Abuja in Cameroon, or in other countries where English is widely spoken, and if your course of instruction was taken in English, then you just need to tell them that you studied in English and you will be able to prove that. That way you can get an English proficiency from the university. For example, those who studied in Cameroon from the University of Boya, they know what I'm talking about. You can get the document and document to them, alright? Then they will waive out your English, but make sure they know before you submit the document on the online application, because admissions is strictly online. Now, the other document you need is the declaration of consent if you are below 18 and all the rest, alright? That one is no problem. And again, you need a motivation letter. You already understand what is a motivation letter. And a motivation letter is a letter to show your seriousness why you decided to apply to the University of Bern, for example, or Geneva. What are your future ambitions when you finish the program? So that is the advantage of a motivation letter, or what it's supposed to entail. Alright, the next document you need is your academic certificate, maybe your YX certificate or your O-level certificate in case you are going for bachelor's degree. If you are going for master's degree, you do not need all of that. All you need to do is to provide your bachelor's transcript and your bachelor's certificate, alright? It will be assessed. Maybe they need just photocopies. I do not know. You have to go through the program website. And remember that universities in Switzerland will not charge you that much, but some are very expensive. However, you need to understand that the certificates that you are using to apply for Swiss universities, that is to say your transcripts or your WAEC, which I already talked about that, you need to have them in clear and clean order, alright? What I mean is sometimes you look at people's transcript and you begin to wonder if it is coming from the gutters. No, that is what you need. The motivation letter, their certificates, very important. The transcript, very, very important, alright? Then you also need a CV. I already talked about the degree certificate. You need a CV because a CV is going to show what you have been doing, alright? In most cases, they may ask you to provide maybe a recommendation letter, but I don't think Swiss universities will need such a document. So these are some of the things that you need to know. And there are a lot of universities in Switzerland, from the University of Basel, Zurich, Geneva, University of Bern, and the other petit universities that we all need to know. Alright, so applying to Switzerland is not a problem. After you get your admissions letter, you have to now apply for a visa. Also understand that when you want to apply for Swiss universities, alright, when you are applying for Swiss universities, you should also put into consideration everything that needs to be submitted as application document. I hope you understand. The courses are not that expensive, probably not very difficult, but you must read in order to get everything. Remember I said, I will talk about somewhere where I said health insurance is not needed until you are already in Switzerland. So these are the things you need to know and understand before you apply for the. Now, the second part of this video, I will talk about the visa application. I will talk about proof of funds, and I will talk about the visa requirements, all right? Because there are documents you need to submit to the embassy or the diplomatic mission, depending on which country you are applying from, all right? So I will talk about this. But first of all, before I talk about the documents, all right, let me also quote here that, or let you understand that the visa fee depends on who is applying for the visa. I think adults, if you check, now I'm referring to Nigerians, if you verify the embassy website, you will notice that the visa fee for adults is 37,000 naira. All right, there are a lot of information on that particular website you need to verify. Now, Moving further, like I said, I will talk about the proof of funds before I come to the documents you need to submit alongside the proof of funds. Now, proof of funds, before you even apply for the visa, study visa to Switzerland, which is a student visa D type, you have to prove that you have accommodation, all right? You have to have a document for accommodation. So this, you can discuss it with your university, or they can give you links to check which accommodation is okay for you. Again, let me tell you that if you want to study in Switzerland and you are sponsoring yourself, you don't have a sponsor, you want to sponsor yourself, you need to work hard. The money is heavy. I'm coming to that. The next document you need is your international passport. I'm not talking about documents, but these are the basic documents. You do not need a health insurance before you apply for the Swiss student visa D type, all right? You will need the health insurance only when you arrive Switzerland, of course, and a residence permit. So now, how much do you need to apply for the Swiss study visa D type? The money you need, according to the Swiss authorities, you need to have at least 1,500 Swiss francs a month, all right? Now, assuming that you are applying for a program, or your program is just 1 year, if you want to study for just 1 year, or you are applying for a a student visa for 1 year, because you need health insurance in Switzerland and of course a residence permit over there. So if you are applying for a student visa for 1 year, according to Swiss law, you need to have 1,500 every month. Therefore, multiplying 1,500 Swiss francs by 12, you will need 18,000 Swiss francs a year. That is to say, for you to apply for a 1 year student visa to Switzerland, or if your program is 1 year, you need 18,000 Swiss francs in your own personal bank account. All right. Now, that is the first way, in your own personal bank account. And how much is 18,000 Swiss francs? In CFA franc, Cameroon money, it is 12,020,341. That is the amount you need to apply for a student visa as a Cameroonian. You need 12 million. Let's just put it at 12 million in your own personal bank account for 1 year student visa. Then when you move to Switzerland, you do your residence permit. That is the first method. The second method now is if you want to use a guidance, all right, to show that somebody is sponsoring you, all right, the person must not be your father. There is a document on the embassy website. You can check that as well. I will link the embassy website in the video description box. All right, if the guardians is supposed to sponsor you, which is the second option, he or she has to write a sponsorship letter. All right, write a sponsorship letter and with the necessary stamps and legalization. Then he or she also needs to show his bank statement with this money inside, 1,500 Swiss francs every month times 12. All right, when your guidance or sponsor write these things, he has to support this with his banking documents. All right, bank certificate, bank bank statement, or whichsoever one. Then you provide them to the embassy. Like I said, before you apply for the visa, you don't need health insurance, but you need proof of accommodation. All right, so that is what you need to do. Then when you arrive Switzerland, you can now apply for your residence permit. Now there are dates lines on the requirements, or there are dates you need and alongside the requirements. Remember the first requirements. Now let me talk about the visa requirements. Now you need the national D visa application form. All right, the visa application form, you need it as well. All right, if you are a minor, make sure that both of your parents sign them and add a copy of their passports or identity cards. All right, then you also need a letter of consent from your parents. You also need to submit your birth certificate. All right, so if you are a minor below 18 years, all right. The second document you need, which is document number 2, you need your international passport. All right, international passport must be well documented and it must not be older than 10 years. Don't get originals and photocopies. All right, very, very important, originals and photocopies. Then that is what you need. Then now you also need 4 identical passport size photographs. Very, very important. Then your admissions letter from the university, being it Bern, the University of Bern, Lucerne, the University of Basel, or whichsoever university. All right, you need them, and your educational documents as well. Very important. Then the other documents you need, I already talked about educational certificates. You also need a motivation letter. What is a motivation letter? A letter to tell the embassy that this is my aim of moving to Switzerland. These are my ambitions in school. Then you also need to tell them the objective. Make sure it is signed, all right? It is signed and dated by the applicant. Then when you sign it, you write the date, you also scan it. That one will act as original, then the other one photocopy. Then you also need proof of payment that you have paid part of your university fee. In case your university is the type that asks for first deposit, tuition fee deposit, you must document that you have actually paid part of that. Originals and 2 photocopies. Always originals and 2 photocopies. Very, very important. Now let's go to the proof of financial means. Like I already said, you either put money in your account, you show that you have the money in your account, you print your bank statement for 6 months, at least 6 months, stamped and signed. Bank statement, bank certificate, or whatever. Original photocopy. If you are being sponsored, I already explained that. We move to the next document. The next document is called a curriculum vitae. Original and a photocopy. We all know what an original is, right? Probably you add your name, you sign it somewhere. You can ask the embassy for further information. Everything is found there. Proof of language certificate, the TOEFL or the IELTS. Bear in mind that if your program is going to be in a foreign language like German, French, Italian, you have to also show proof of proficiency in those languages. Remember, Switzerland has 4 languages: German, Italian, French, and of course Romansh. All right. Each city and each university will either teach you in the language, like the University of Bern will teach you in German and English, because German is prominent in Bern. I think in Zurich they speak Italian, so you should expect Italian and English. I'm not very sure if Zurich is Italian. Anyways, you can check that. Now, understand that all these documents have to be in order. Now, the visa application fee is non-refundable, all right? There is no guarantee that you can get the visa, all right? All the documents must be in English language or in official languages like German, French, and Italian. Fake documents, you will be sent packing. These are the informations you need to know about a student visa to Switzerland. I hope this video will help somebody or teach somebody something. If you have a problem, please drop a comment in the video comment section below. I will respond from there. Now, if you have more further questions and may want to ask the embassy, contact the embassy. Remember, the proof of funds I said is for 1 year. If it is for 2 months, multiply that money by 24. Multiplying it by 24 is going to give you 36,000 Swiss francs. In Cameroon money is going to be 24 million. I hope you understand. Remember the figures. Switzerland does not joke. If you don't have the money, you are going nowhere. If you cannot prove that you have it, you are going nowhere. They don't want liabilities in their country. I hope you get the point. Now, you also have to document that you are leaving Switzerland after you finish your studies. But we all know that we cannot just live like that. We know the procedure already. So you have to think fast. But of course, there is a post-study visa. I think that should be around 6 months. After you finish your studies, you should look for jobs. Make sure as you are studying in English, try to learn German, French, or Italian. That is going to give you upper advantage in Switzerland. I hope you understand. Until we meet again in another one, guys.